Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nnaemeka Obiaraeri. This is a direct message to the governors and the 95 local government chairmen from the Southeast region of Nigeria. It breaks my heart. I am doing this not just to lampoon anybody, but to plead to our conscience, to do the right things, to take the rightful place that God has given to us, to subdue the earth, to replenish it, to have dominion, to flourish, and to multiply, as God has given us the mandate, as men from the land of the rising sun. It breaks my heart. Repeatedly, it breaks my heart to know and to learn that a people so naturally blessed by God cannot feed themselves, and they depend on others to feed them. It breaks my heart. The southeast of Nigeria is one region of Nigeria that is so naturally blessed by God that they can actually produce and process enough food, not only to feed themselves, but to feed the rest of Nigeria. We are one of the very few places in Nigeria that has a right kind of rainfall, the right amount of sunshine, the human capital, the arable land, and vegetation to produce nothing less than $50 to $100 billion worth of agric and agro-processed commodities. There is no kind of crops, both cash and food crops, that cannot be cultivated and processed in the southeast region of Nigeria. God has even blessed us with good water tributaries. I'll give you an example. Netherlands has a landmass of 41,000 square kilometers. The only portion of land in Netherlands that is arable is just 21%, 12,000 square kilometers of land, which is about 12 million hectares. The southeast region of Nigeria has 28,000 square kilometers, over 20,000 square kilometers of arable land mass. We have at least cultivable 2 million hectares of arable land. The only thing available to the whole of Netherlands is just about 1.2 million hectares of arable land. In the southeast, we have at least 2 million hectares of arable land mass to till, to cultivate, and to produce. Netherlands annually, beyond what they consume, they feed themselves. They export nothing less than $110 billion worth of agro commodities. We've spoken, we've done proposals, we've tried to encourage the leadership in this. And why do I appeal mostly to the governors and local government chairmen? By the reason of the Land Use Act, the constitutional provision of how lands assets are utilized. This land usage, land users, falls 100% under the control of the governors of the state. A governor can actually come to your village and take your communal property for public use based on the kind of overwhelming powers that the Land Use Act gave to them, that we also need to amend to make transfer of land assets very easy for private entrepreneurs who may want to utilize it to create wealth. Let me not digress. The southeast of Nigeria has the capacity to feed itself, from yam to cassava to tomato to onions to maize to rice. There is no kind of food commodity that cannot be grown and produced abundantly in the southeast of Nigeria if we have governors and local government chairmen who are altruistic, who are ready to do the right things. First of all, the first step each and every one of us must take. Ohaneze Ndigbo has a role to play. The first thing we need to do is that we must collectively, all the governors of the southeast must approach their state assemblies, first of all, to totally ban anything called open grazing of animal husbandry in the southeast. Traditionally, I grew up in the village. And in my village, there is a law. You don't allow your goat or your cow or your animal of whatever nature or your sheep to stray away from your compound into anybody's farm. As a young boy, I grew up to know. I saw it firsthand. If your goat strays into another person's farm in my village, they will arrest, the owner of the farm has the right to arrest your goat, hold your goat until you pay penalties before such goats are released. Those are some of the communal measures put in place in my community to ensure that people's goats do not stray to destroy people's farm crops. So if traditionally the people from the Southeast has a law, traditional law that do not allow people to allow their goats or their dogs or whatever animal to stray into people's farm without penalties, why is it so difficult for the governors in the Southeast working with their state assembly to totally ban open grazing, so that to allow farmers to cultivate and do their farms without fear of having their crops destroyed by brazen herdsmen who have no control? Why is it difficult? We operate a communal land ownership system. The Southeast of Nigeria is one place where most lands are communally owned. In my own community, apart from some of the nearby land within the home state, in my community where I come from, we have surveyed land over 178 hectares. These are some of the part of the land. These are some of the land that we have. Now, if we have governments that are thinking, governments that are very, very honest. In Imo State, for example, we have 650 autonomous communities. We have 305 electoral wards. Of course, electoral wards cover communities. In Okigwe local government area where I come from, we have 11 electoral wards. Now, what stopped the governments of the day working with local government authorities and those in the National Assembly? First of all, ban open grazing. Now help the communities to set up agro clusters. If we do 100 hectares of agro clusters in every community, just even 100 hectares is not too much. We must not be together in one place. You can be 2 clusters of 50 hectares each in every community. We're talking about 65,000 hectares of arable land mass. What do you do in every cluster? Provide the infrastructure, provide borehole, provide security for each of the clusters. Each of the clusters in every electoral ward, we can do what we call provide mechanized agro facilities, the basic tractors, the basic grader that can even help us to do the rural roads, the basic harvesters, the basic irrigation. We can even encourage our own. We have a FIBO. We are allowed to do piggery. We can collocate pig farms. We can collocate the Igbo cow farms. We can collocate poultry within those clusters. What is essence? We can even collocate fisheries. The bird poo will be used to provide food for the fish. The fish waters and the animal poo, like the cow dung, the goat dungs, the piggery dungs, can be biodigested to provide fertilizer for the farms. In these clusters, we will choose comparative advantage, the crops that can grow in those clusters. The people that will grow yam will grow yam. The people that will grow cassava will grow cassava. The people that will grow maize will grow maize. The people that will grow tomato will grow tomato. The people that will grow okra will grow okra. The people that will grow different crops. We have trained agro extensions officers supervising these clusters. We have processing plants. We have, beyond these food crops, we also have clusters of 30 hectares where we will do the cash crops, from the palm trees, the tenera palm trees, to the cashew, to the cocoa, to even rubber. We have, many people are not aware that we have over 6,000 hectares of latex rubber plantation in Ihi, in Uguta, or Haji Uguta local area. What does it take for governments to do this thing? Every cluster will have security. Wherever you have cluster of farm, provide them with borehole. Government is not providing money. I just want them not to think that I'm trying to delve into their fuck and jack. They can steal their fuck and jack. But allow us to help you to put the structures in place. We will set up the clusters under cooperatives. Every community will bring their own cluster. We'll put them under cooperatives. All that the government need to do is to provide security, to provide guarantees. We will raise money through the CBN anchor borrower schemes, through development finance institutions like the AFDB, or other. We can even do diaspora bonds. Every community have diaspora. So we say, okay, see guys, we are investing this thing. We will show them the numbers transparently, how they can receive repayment for their money. We do this thing scientifically. We have silos where things can be stored. I bet you in 1, 2, 3 years, we will have across the agro value chain, across the animal husbandry value chain, across the cash crop value chain, we will build an agrarian economy that adds nothing less than at least $20 billion annually in the Southeast. We will create hundreds of thousands and millions of jobs across the value chain, from the upstream to the processing, to the distribution, to storage, to logistics. These are the kind of things you should be championing. Appeal to the governors. We have the template. We are not asking them to take their fuck and jack. Allow us to come in and help. It's going to be a comprehensive first agro-revolution in the Southeast. We will produce everything we will eat. You will see massive export from Samambako Airport, Cargo Airport, going abroad. We will do legumes, we will do vegetables, we will do a lot. We will be the biggest fishery producing region in Nigeria. We will produce enough rice. We will produce enough yam. We will produce enough tomato, enough onions in the Southeast. We will produce enough yam, enough cassava, enough gari, enough apple, enough everything. We will be so self-sufficient that people will wonder what happened. How can a people that live under such blessed natural atmosphere be depending on people that live in the desert to feed them? Does it make sense? How does people that live in a region that has natural rainforest, a region that has natural amount of rainfall, a region that have natural amount of sunshine, a region that has 2 million hectares of arable land mass, not able to feed themselves, not able to create so much wealth that will blow the mind of people? Lands are communally owned. Help the communities. This agro arrangement will provide security. In every cluster of 100 hectares, you will have farm rangers of at least 25 able-bodied young men, fully trained, mobile, and armed, with drones, cordoning security, putting gates in their own areas. Every community will be gated in and out. Every entry point, we will set up a commodity board, private-public partnership arrangement that guarantees everything that is produced in the farm gate is processed and purchased. A farm board that will ensure that every farmer gets value for his products, backed with development bank. Southeast can even start a development bank that will guarantee this. We will export a lot. The Igbos have town unions. associations in America, in Asia. We can even encourage our brothers in America, in Europe, to set up a kind of a warehousing arrangement to even where we can even encourage them to be off-takers of what is produced here. We will be exporting yam. We will produce enough yam in the Southeast. We will be exporting a lot of things, crayfish. Most of the things that other people, we will be exporting them. We have our brothers offshore who will be off-takers, who will be helping to distribute these things. It will even be a way of them creating wealth for themselves there. But these things are scientifically planned in a way that we can say this year we are producing in Alibo 4 million tons of rice. And we scientifically do it. We will say this year we are producing 1 million tons of gari. We will produce it. We will say this year we are producing enough tomato, enough onions to export, enough fish. Go to Munumu to see what Senator Tanachon is doing there. Senator Tanachon, as a private person, built artificial river and a fish lake that can do about 12 million catfish annually. Imagine if such is replicated in every local government areas in Alibo. We have a fish farm that can do about 5 million fish every year. Why do we need to import fish from anywhere? We have in every local government area an Igbo or a cattle ranch owned by Igbo. I'm not talking about the cattle ranch from somebody from Futajalon. A cattle ranch in every local government area where you will where you have cattle, you will have pigs, you will have sheep, you will have goats, you will have poultry. In a very arranged clusters with security, with shared facilities, pipe-borne water, with a boreholes, with solar energy. And then you have security. Every community knows this is where, of course, there is great science, this thing. There. What is so difficult about these things? God have mercy on us. I beg, I don't tire.